Hey guys, this is Wayne from What Should I Play, and today I'm going to help you figure out what you should read. My interest in gaming doesn't just extend to playing games and making videos about them. I'm also a collector, as you can see here, and I'm interested in the history and development behind the games that I love. The Ultimate History of Video Games by Stephen L. Kent is a hefty book at over 600 pages, and it chronicles the history of the games industry from the 1950s to its publication in 2001. It covers everything from Space War to Pokemon, and follows a compelling narrative that rarely strays into the mundane, like many history books tend to. I learned a lot about the games industry, such as the origin of Sega as an American-founded company, and even about the technology behind some of the games and consoles, such as the NES lockout chip. I actually brought this book with me on vacation with my wife a few years back. While she was enjoying the views sitting on the beach, I was so enthralled by the book that I almost missed out. If you have any interest in the history of the games industry, definitely pick this one up. On the other end of the spectrum, you have the Digital Press Collector's Guides. While the Ultimate History of Video Games focuses on the industry as a whole, the Digital Press Collector's Guides act as glorified checklists, complete with painstakingly researched catalogs of all the games available for most platforms. Each entry is detailed out with information about the programmer, publisher, developer, cheats, hints, tips, rarity, and even some commentary by the author. The guides were written by Joe Santulli, founder of the Digital Press Gaming Store, which you might know from its online forums at digitpress.com. Joe is a co-founder of the upcoming Video Game History Museum in Frisco, Texas. He's also an organizer for the Classic Gaming Expo in Las Vegas, and a frequent contributor to the Video Game Years on RetroAir TV. It's safe to say that he knows his stuff. Joe and his friends at Digital Press have released 2 books so far. This one here, the original edition, covers everything up to and including the 8-bit era. The second book is called the Advanced Version and covers the 16 and 32-bit eras. The first book is pretty hard to find, and at the time of recording was selling for over $100 on Amazon and not even available at eBay. The second one is a bit more reasonable, at around $20. Digital Press, however, has made almost all of this information available on their website for free. This next selection is something I was always a bit hesitant to pick up because of the price. Then one day I walk into my local Barnes & Noble and see this. The Super Nintendo Special Edition of Retro Gamer magazine. At this point I was already sold, but as I picked it up to flip through and noticed that halfway through the book the pages flipped upside down, I looked at the back cover and found out that it's also the Genesis Edition. At this point I could not get to the register fast enough. The Super Nintendo Sega Genesis book is packed with over 200 pages of exclusive interviews with the creators of games like Super Mario World, Mario RPG, Sonic the Hedgehog, Gunstar Heroes, and a ton more. After picking this up, I was hooked, and started picking up some more issues of Retro Gamer, like the latest one focusing on adventure games. Being a UK publication, it can be a bit more pricey to pick up off the newsstands, but the subscription price is a bit more tolerable, and if you don't mind, they offer a digital subscription on their website. The Art of Video Games is a companion piece to the exhibit at the Smithsonian American Art Museum. This is a hardcover book with sturdy, glossy pages focusing on 80 of the most significant games in the medium's history. With a presentation like this, it's easy to be confused by the title. It doesn't represent the art in video games, like graphics and whatnot, but the video games as art. Chris Milicinos and Patrick O'Rourke do an excellent job of exploring how designers combine visual artistry with narrative, audio, and play interaction to create immersive and meaningful experiences. It also includes interviews with such industry giants as Nolan Bushnell, Warren Spector, and Tim Schafer. Pick this one up for your coffee table. It's beautiful to look at, and it's a great conversation starter. If fiction's more your thing, don't worry, I've got a suggestion for you too. My wife is a pretty major bookworm, and since I've gotten her more into gaming, she's been trying to get me more into reading. Every once in a while she'll pick up a book for me that she thinks I'll like, and for the most part they're pretty good suggestions. So one year for Christmas, I open up a gift from her, and I see this. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Now at this point I'm going into it blind. I haven't heard anything about this book. I read the jacket cover, and it sounded pretty interesting, but I had a few other books on my to-read pile, so I kind of stuck this with them on my night table and put it to the back of my mind. Not more than a week later, I start to see glowing reviews of this book online, and even talk of a movie. So I dove right into it, and man, was it an enjoyable read. What can I say about this book that hasn't already been said? It's like The Matrix meets Indiana Jones with I Love the 80s as a surrogate. The story takes place in 2044 and follows the path of Wade Watts as he investigates mysterious Easter eggs in Oasis, the all-encompassing MMO world of the future where 80s pop culture is the biggest trend. Just a few weeks ago, it was announced that Steven Spielberg has been attached to direct the film version. Now, it seems like a pretty arduous task because there's so many licensed properties in the book that to adapt them all properly for screen might be difficult, but if anyone can do it, I have faith in Steven Spielberg. So guys, do you have any favorite gaming related books? Let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking for suggestions. And as always, if you like the video, please subscribe, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and tune in next time when I help you figure out what you should play.